Waffle House, dog. Denny gang, boy.
Hey guys, welcome to Muscle Memory. My name is Malcolm. I'm currently with someone that was 25 minutes late to this interview. He's wearing a Mac Miller shirt, probably from Spencer's, and he's going to shave a kid's head on June 28th. Joe Alonzo, how are you?
Dude, I'm great, man.
That's good.
Muy bien. I'm good. Couldn't be better. The sun's up today. As you said, June 28th, I'm going to shave a 6-year-old child. I'm going to shave his head. His name's Stevie. I'm going to shave this kid's head.
Stevie or Steve? It's important.
Stevie.
Stevie,
Stevie.
Stevie. Okay, now why are we getting to this point where now, like, this is what you're doing in your wrestling career? Why are you shaving a kid's head?
Because it's never been done before. I feel like, you know what I mean? You got to do things that no one's ever done. And I feel just like that's something that would go viral if it happens. But I got to backtrack here. I got to educate you a little bit.
Okay, yeah, educate us.
So, have you ever heard of a guy named Chuck E. Smooth?
I am somewhat familiar with the name, but please tell me more.
How are you familiar with? You don't know who Chuck Smooth is. Don't be nice. You don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, I was being nice. No clue.
Yeah, you have no clue who Chuck Smooth is. But if here's what it always stems down to: if you're a CM Punk mark, okay, if you're a fan of CM Punk, you go back to the OG days of Punk in the Midwest, and there's CM Punk. I'll separate the name. There's CM Punk. There's Chris Hero. Then Colt Cabana. Then there's Dave Prazak. And then there's Adam Pearce. And then there's Chuck Smooth. Chuck Smooth is the forgotten one of them all. The dude had all the potential in the world. This man was a backup dancer for Britney Spears. He dated Britney Spears. This guy was supposed to go to Japan.
Wow.
And then he fell in love with something he loves more than wrestling, which is dope. I'm the most dope, and Chuck loves dope. Or loved dope. I guess he's sober now. But ruined his career. Ruined his career. Everyone that Chuck knew, they're all millionaires. Or hundreds of thousandaires and millionaires.
Yeah.
And Chuck has to wake up at 2 a.m. every single day to go to work, and he has to live with that regret. Like, man, if I just had my life together. So basically, that man fell out of wrestling. He got sober. He had a child, Stevie, and Stevie's the one thing that keeps him sober and acting sane. And then he wanted to decide to get back into professional wrestling. There was a company called AAW. Are you familiar with AAW?
Yeah, I'm familiar with actually this time. Yes.
Okay. So AAW, they never wanted to book Joe Alonzo. They thought Joe Alonzo was a little bit of a problem. They thought he would cause problems in the locker room. But Chuck Smooth, lucky for me at the time, Chuck Smooth was good friends with the promoter Danny Daniels, and he said, Danny, there's this kid named Joe Alonzo. He's going to be the most dope professional wrestler that this generation has ever seen. And he said, I want a piece of that. I want to be able to say that I had something like a helping hand in Joe Alonzo's career. I was like, wow, dude, this guy's really just looking out for me. In all reality, he was just trying to revive his own career. And that there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
So you see where I'm coming here? You see what's happening?
I see this. Yeah.
So with that being said, now me and Chuck were working together. He's coming out with me. I'm letting him even cut promos for me, which I never let anyone else talk for me.
Huh.
But doing his thing, and then he's like, oh, Joe, like, I got this idea for you. You should do this. You should start wearing these types of clothes. You should start doing these moves. You should start branding yourself this way. And I'm like, Chuck, I'm Joe Alonzo. Let me do my thing, okay? I know what I'm doing. You had your chance to do something for yourself, but you're the one who decided to dabble in some adult activities. That's not even adult activities. That's just like diabolical, belligerent, like just foul play of stuff. Adults don't do that, okay? And that's what he decided to do. Threw away his whole career. He thought he was going to live vicariously through Joe Alonzo, and I saw right through it. And I was champ at AEW for a year. And on my year anniversary, the date of 1 year as champion, this man did not show up. I didn't lose the title. Chuck Smooth kind of is the reason why I lost it. And I think it's his fault. It's his fault. I said some foul things about his son because apparently he couldn't make it because his son had a little incident. I guess his kid had to go to the hospital or something. Like, he's good now.
As long as he's good. As long as he's good.
But I didn't think it was that serious to begin with. and he couldn't show up. So they said, Joe, like, Chuck's kid was in the hospital, so that's why he couldn't make it. And I said that it's not my fault that the kid had like maybe a little bit of drugs in the system when he was born. Like that's what happens when someone does dope. They have a dope baby, and yeah, like that's not my fault. And Chuck wanted me to apologize, which I apologized, but he didn't say what apologize for. And I said, Stevie, I don't know if you saw the video.
Yes.
Replay the clip. Boom.
Your father of the year, I'm going to take that title off of you. You know why? If you want to wrestle Joe Alonzo, when I beat you, I get to shave your little 6-year-old son Stevie's head. And Joe, when I run you out of this place, you go back to Billy Morgan and suck him off and get your job back.
Said to apologize to his son, and I said, Stevie, I'm sorry that your mother decided to love drugs more than she loved you.
I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry that your mother loves drugs more than she loves you.
Chuck ain't like what I said, and my new protege, Donovan Marcellus, put a stop to him as he tried to hit me with a little cheap shot.
Yeah.
And I had to bloody him up and teach him a lesson right in front of his son. And his son, like the kid's got to toughen up a little bit. He was crying as I was like.
I mean, you're kind of beating up his dad, so I feel like that's kind of fair.
Sounds like the kid's like a little bit of a pussy, but like I mean,
you said that. You're kind of like a piece of shit of a person, right? Like that's kind of fucked up.
How?
I mean, you beat up a dad in front of his child. You're kind of a piece of shit. Like, let's be honest. You're kind of a piece of shit.
Okay, Malcolm.
Yeah.
I don't know your personal life like that.
Okay.
How's your relationship with your father?
Decent.
Decent?
Yeah,
as a kid, did you like look at your dad as like, oh, that's Superman?
Yeah, he's
like,
cool. Yeah.
My dad could do anything, right?
Yeah.
That's how I looked at my dad. I'm like, hey, my dad could beat up your dad and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes kids need to be put, like they need a reality check and to be taught that your dad isn't Superman. And I feel like most of us learn those lessons later in life. Like, man, my dad wasn't really as tough or as cool as I thought. And then that hits when you're like in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
But I'm helping this 6-year-old learn it now. So he kind of like learns, you know what I mean? Like next, I mean, if I get a chance, I'm going to tell the kid Santa Claus isn't real. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, man, you're just a great guy, aren't you?
You just got, dude, I'm a great guy.
Why are you like doing this now when he's 6 years old? And that kind of like ruining his childhood a little bit.
It's not ruining his childhood. The kid's taught lies. His dad isn't Superman. Santa Claus isn't real. Like, set in reality so you could be like you could just be a badass when you get older and just stop living in this fantasy world. Your dad's not Superman, bro. And Joe Alonzo had to, lay the kryptonite on so-called Superman, which is Chuck Smooth. Yeah. And I think his kryptonite's actually drugs, but I should probably, you know what? Damn, that's a good idea on the day of the show. But anyways, so Chuck is the piece of shit because after my match, the last show, Chuck wanted to hop the guardrail, which he should be on the other side of the guardrail like the fan he is, coming from the audience, hopping the guardrail, wanted to jump me after my match like a coward. And I didn't blindside him, okay? Right to his face, I hit him. So he did it behind my back. He came from my rear end. Pause.
Hey, yo.
But,
hey, yo.
Yeah, bro. Like, he wants to wrestle. So I told him, listen, bro, you want to wrestle me? Make it worth my time. If I beat you, I get to shave the one thing that matters to you the most. If I beat you on June 28th at AAW, I, Joe Alonzo, get to shave your 6-year-old son, Stevie's head in the middle of the ring to humiliate and to embarrass the one thing you love, the one thing that keeps you sober. I'm going to ruin that, and I'm going to make that kid be like, Dad, why did you put me in that position? And he's going to grow up to hate his father, and it's just going to, I don't think it's ruining everything. I don't really appreciate that you said I was a piece of shit. I think that's a little messed up. I'm going to let that go.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm wrong when I say that, though. But, I feel like you know it, too. I feel like you just don't want to admit it.
No, I'm not a piece of shit, bro. I wish someone did this for me to help me out with my parents. To be like, dude, your parents aren't all that cool, bro. And then once I learned that, I'm like, damn, bro, my parents aren't that cool. I never needed them to begin with. I'm cool myself. am everything I am because of me, not because of my parents. And I'm trying to teach this kid and all younger kids out there who look up to false idols like their parents. You should look up to people like Joe Alonzo, who are realists, who help these kids. So I'm a piece of shit because I'm trying to help this kid. Like, yes. They always say apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So if it wasn't for Joe Alonzo, this kid might fall into the same path of his father and doing some bad stuff. And I'm trying to help this kid, Malcolm. So who's the piece of shit?
I mean, still you, but I understand where you're coming from. I mean, I'm you just kind of are, but I hear where you're coming from, and I hear the confidence in your voice when you talk about your future opponent, June 28th, AEW. Has the rest of the card been announced yet?
AAW. Don't ever get that right. Don't say AE, AA.
Sorry, AAW.
AA, like where Chuck Smooth belongs. AA. AAW.
That was crazy. Who else will be on the card of that show? That way people can also come out to watch. Not just you shave a kid's head, but also the other wrestling as well.
I mean, we don't really need to say anybody else. All you need is Joe Alonzo.
Okay,
like that,
fair enough.
Stuff. But I mean, you got Kurt Stallion. You got Trevor Lee on the show. You got Maggie Lee on the show. Right. You got Robert Anthony on the show. You got there's some other people. Solomon Tupu on the show. Chico Suave on the show, but it doesn't matter. What matters is Joe Alonzo versus Chucky Smooth. And okay. If I win, I get to shave. Oh, I didn't tell you the other stipulation.
Yeah.
When I beat him, I'm shaving. Like, the other stipulation doesn't matter. They wanted to put my hair on the line. Hair on the line?
Your hair's great. No.
Thank you. That's the only compliment you've given me this entire time, but whatever.
Yeah.
So definitely not cutting these locks, but if I lose, I'm gone from AAW. But I don't look at that as a loss because maybe I'll pop up somewhere else. So,
well, let's talk about it. I mean, you've been to a lot of places recently. One of those being TNA. You had 2 matches on Explosion. It was you and Steve Macklin, and also you and Trey Miguel. What was it like being a part of TNA? Because like those matches were excellent.
Dude, about time. That's all I got to say. About damn time, Malcolm. You've only known me for a couple of years, bro. But I've been doing this thing for the past 12 years. Since I was 16 years old, brother. I have been working my ass off, and now it's starting to pay off. I got Fourth Rope, TNA, a couple other places I can't talk about just yet, a couple other countries coming up. It's a busy summer, a lot of big things popping off, and I feel like people are like finally recognizing greatness. And I feel like I believed in myself all this time, and people would say it's bragging, but I don't think it's bragging. They just couldn't fathom this level of excellence. So like they hated on me for so long. So now I think they're realizing like, damn, dude, Joe is dope. Joe is that dude. Joe is the most dope professional wrestler this generation's ever seen. And yeah, like for the longest time, I always say, like people just hate Joe Alonzo because they ain't Joe Alonzo, which I would get, because if I wasn't me, I would hate me too. So like, I think now it's starting to turn to where they're actually starting to believe in Joe Alonzo. So like my haters are turning into my lovers, but not like I'm not love. You know what I mean? Like they love me.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah, I mean, like I am a fan of Joe Alonzo. I also think Joe Alonzo is a piece of shit, though. Just because you just kind of strike me as a piece of shit of a person, but that's okay though. Like because pieces of shit usually rise to the top. So I think you'll make it in this business. You'll do great.
I mean, like shit does float in the toilet, so it does rise to the top. So I guess.
And I think you can float. I think you can float.
My shit float, dog. My shit float.
I'm sure it does. But anywho, we can move on from that. That's just kind of weird. Do you remember when MVP said you were really annoying? How did it make you feel?
You're old and you have CTE. I'm surprised you don't know who I am. My name is Joe Alonzo, the king of Chicago, the most hated man in Chicago. The heels have eyes. I'm the #1 most hated man in this business. These people hate me. They hate me because they ain't Joe Alonzo.
No. I believe you because you've been here for 10 seconds and I hate you already.
Well, he said I was annoyed in the moment, but I don't know if you whatever. I'm gonna forgive MVP on that. Like I don't want to have to, like MVP. Like yeah, he's a little bit of an old head, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'd be scared of him in like 2005, but like we in 2025.
I don't know. He's still kind of buff. I wouldn't mess with him. I mean, you are too. I'm just saying he's also like he hasn't lost anything, like he's still big.
He lost some color in the beard. He's got like little some white hairs in there. That's the only thing.
That's okay. He's a veteran. It's all right.
Listen, I'm gonna let him slide on that one comment because he made it up. I think he knew. He's like, yo, I didn't really recognize how bad this dude is. Because then he went on Twitter and said, yo, that kid rose to the occasion and showed up like a professional. So that's what I remember.
Okay.
I don't remember too much until you just said that about what MVP said about me. But I remember him saying that kid's a pro and he showed up like a star. That's what I saw. You could check Twitter. He said
Yeah,
it.
true,
MVP's words.
true. Most people call that selective hearing, but I understand what you're trying to say. Now, you also have wrestled Joe Hendry. Now, two Joes facing each other, the TNA World Champion currently. What it mean to, yes, that's the thing. What did it mean to you to wrestle the TNA World Champion? Because that's obviously a big step up.
I mean, it was just another match, bro. I just saw, like, I mean, I think, like, here's the problem. We got other wrestlers, right, who are up and coming.
Yeah.
They get opportunities like this, and they're like, oh, my God, it meant the world that I got to – this is what somebody else would say, right? It meant the world to me that I got to wrestle the TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry, one of the most hottest stars on the scene right now. Me, I'm just like, it was just another match, and I looked at it as an opportunity to get more eyes on me because people are on this stupid-ass song of I believe in Joe Hendry in London and Paris. Like, it's catchy. It's catchy.
It's
like,
a good song. I mean, it goes crazy. It goes crazy.
It's not – I wouldn't say it's a good song. I mean, what's the –
I wouldn't say good. It's great. It's great. For sure.
I wouldn't say it's great.
I would say it's great.
I think there's a lot of songs that are catchy on the radio that kind of have, you know, it's like what is it like a I think he's a one-hit wonder on that song. I don't think he's. When's the last time? You know how long that song's been out for?
A few years.
Exactly. Has he had another song since?
Sure.
Has he had a hit?
He hits people.
I hit him.
Okay,
yeah,
you did. You did.
I gave him a black eye. Anyways.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't look at it as, oh my God, this is such a big opportunity. No, I looked at it as he has these people fooled.
Yeah.
Right? He's got a lot of eyes on him right now. I'm going to steal some of those eyes. And I feel like I did that. Heels have eyes. You know what I did there? That was slick with it. But I just felt like it was an opportunity to get more eyes on the Joe Alonzo brand, which I did. I think he underestimated me and was like, I never heard of this kid. And now he can never forget Joe Alonzo.
So the current champions in fourth rope right now are Real One, Enzo Amore, and Zilla Fatu. Which one do you feel like you could beat up very easily for their championship?
I mean, both, but like, which one do I want? Probably, I'm going to say Zilla because he's got the main title, which I don't know, but then the Zoe, his title looks cooler though.
That's so cool.
I mean, huh?
I'm saying it looks cool. It's a nice belt.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the title looks cooler, the one that Zoe has, but then Zilla's that's the main one though, you know? So I think Zilla. I'll be Zilla. Listen, I told you before, he's not too familiar. At the time, he wasn't too familiar with Joe Alonzo, and I was gonna show him how reckless I could be with the words I say.
How reckless your mouth is what you said. Yeah.
Listen,
you said you're gonna show Zilla Fatu that your mouth is so reckless. Yeah.
I was driving from Pittsburgh. Okay, that was an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I was tired. So
did you show how reckless your mouth is?
My mouth is reckless, but with the things I say, not like I don't do reckless things with my.
I mean, talking is also an action when you think about it. So your mouth has reckless actions.
Is your mouth reckless?
No. It's.
Hey, recklessly be eating that Waffle House, huh?
We'll talk about that in a little bit. I mean, there's lots to talk about when it comes to Waffle House. But I noticed on YouTube that your most watched match has 705,000 views. You versus Heather Reckless at AAW. Do you remember this match?
I do remember that match. I confessed my love to her in that match.
Did it work out for you?
Well, my love, I was more so like, she thought I was talking about like being in love with her, but it was more so confessing my love of ending her career that night. Like I was in love with the idea of making sure she was done. Because intergender wrestling is the goofiest thing I've ever saw. Like,
is it?
Dude, it makes no sense. Why would I wrestle a chick? Like, obviously, like there's not a woman out there who could beat me up. So like, why would I do that?
I don't know. I feel like there's a few that probably could.
Name one.
Rhea Ripley.
I would dust that fucking Oh, bro. I would knock the Hot Topic clothes off of that girl. I would knock the emo music out of that girl's head. Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, Rhea Ripley. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Keep
think
keep dreaming.
I think she could, or like Megan Bain. I feel like she could beat you up as well.
Definitely not.
I
Definitely not.
I think so. I think he's ducking, but it's okay. We'll
I
move.
would whoop her and her man's ass.
I have a new segment for you, Joe. It's called Blind Ranking. I'm going to name five different Chicago wrestlers, and you have to rank them 1 through 5, but you don't know who's coming next. Are you ready?
Oh God, fuck. Put them all at
Ready.
number 5.
All right. So first one, CM Punk.
2.
2. Okay. Probably because the next guy will be number 1. David Otunga.
David Otunga's from Chicago?
Yes.
Has he ever said that publicly?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. A lot.
I like David Otunga.
Yeah. The 1.
4.
4. He was tag team champion with John Cena, so I mean, I feel like he has to be up there. The next one is Kylie Ray.
5.
5. Why?
She's a girl.
That's crazy. All right, next one is Cora Jade.
Kylie is number 3. Cora is number 5.
Wow, you can't switch them. Wow. Okay, this guy. All right, just
No, David Otunga is number 3. David Otunga is number 3.
Yeah,
Kylie's 4. Cora's 5.
definitely going against the rules of blind ranking, but it's fine. Last one is Joe Alonzo.
Number 1.
Oh man, I should have pulled a different one. Should have said Larry Zbyszko instead, but you know, we let it slide.
Who's that?
Just an older gentleman. I actually don't know if he's from Chicago. Yeah, he is. Yep, double checked. Double checked he is. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about this match again. All right, June 28th, you and Chuck. It's going to be an epic match that I assume you're going to win. What happens if you lose to him?
Apparently, AAW is going to take the biggest loss because Danny Daniels, who claims that nobody likes me, nobody in the locker room likes me, they say I'm difficult to work with. They say I'm never... No, I'm not, bro. They say I'm never on time. I'm always late for call time, which makes no sense. Like, why would I need to show up at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock when the doors open at 6:30 so I can show up at 6? It doesn't make any sense. So they want me gone. They say Joe Alonzo is gone from AAW, which would be their biggest loss because there is nobody there that's on that roster that is worth paying a ticket to watch. Every single person pays to see Joe Alonzo. And that's a fact because every time I'm not in the main event, if you could watch the shows, go on YouTube, every time that my match is not main, I have the biggest part of the crowd, and then I'm usually semi-main or like semi-main. And then if you watch anything after, the crowd's gone. I look it up yourself. Do research. If you look, the crowd disappears after my match is done. Just saying.
I mean, like, I believe it. You need. I don't have to look it up. I just believe you because, like, you are the main attraction of AEW. Obviously, you should be the heavyweight champion right now. But you know, it will happen soon because I believe you'll probably stay in AEW. You will shave a kid's head. It will be a viral video for sure. Just a pretty sad one in the process, honestly. It's because
it's not sad, bro.
It's sad.
It's summertime, anyways. He needs a haircut.
I mean, I feel you, but like, Joe Alonzo, what is your Waffle House order?
Oh my God, Malcolm. Oh my God, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Dude.
What?
This question upsets me so much.
Yeah,
because
Twitter.
Every single you said Twitter?
Yeah, they get upset about it as well.
You know why, right?
No.
It's because Waffle House is trash, dog.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Shout out Denny Gang, bro. The Grand Sandwich. Give me that Grand Sandwich, bro. Denny Gang, boy. Denny Gang, dude. Gang, dog. Throw up my D's, dog. I don't even know if that made a D. Wait, hold up. Oh. D Gang, dog.
You like D's?
Denny Gang. Bro, Waffle House is
You like D's?
Their menus are sticky, bro. Like stickier than the magazines under your bed, bro. They are dirty. Every single person in there is they are not classy people. There's always fights all the time. I almost tagged you in a video the other day of what goes down at Waffle House.
Great stuff.
It's trash. There's always bugs. There's flies all the time. Their bathrooms are shitty as hell. Yeah. Everyone in there is under the influence of something. It's like a bunch of Chuck Smooth's friends basically there. Like, it's not a good place. Their food is very mid.
Their food is okay. All right. You might have said a lot of like correct things there, but when it comes to the food, you're wrong. That's fine dining, honestly. It's a great establishment. And who cares if the menus are a little sticky and there's a fight and maybe the person making your omelet just came out of jail? But it doesn't matter. It's a great eating establishment.
Give me a grand sandwich with my hash browns on the side so I can put the Cholula sauce on it. And yeah, give me some coffee at Denny's. Denny's. Shout out Denny's, bro. Fuck Waffle House, dog. Denny gang, boy. Denny gang, boy.
You know you're a piece of shit, right?
Dude, shout out Denny gang. Ayo, Denny sponsor me. Waffle House don't give a shit about this dude. He got you a cameo with Dwayne the Cock Johnson. And yo, shout out Denny gang, boy. Denny gang, dog.
No one's ever said Denny gang a day in their life.
Denny gang, dog.
No one's ever said that. He said throw D's up. He likes D's. Joe Alonzo, where can they find you on social media?
I don't like D, bro. I like Denny's.
No, he said throw the D's up. So we're just going with that. Where can they find you?
Throw some D's on that bitch. At Joe Alonzo Jr. on Twitter, or I'm sorry, Elon, my bad. X on Instagram, on YouTube at Joe Alonzo, and I just made a TikTok. I don't really like that, but it's some old ass man who don't even use social media. He took my handle, so it's at Joe Alonzo Jr. _.
Okay, there it is. Joe Alonzo, you are a piece of shit, but hopefully you become successful. Yeah, you are, but you'll be successful on June 28th, hopefully against your opponent. Guys, my name's Malcolm. This is Muscle Memory, and we're out. He likes D's, by the way. He said that.
We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. We going up like 1,000. I'm a flex just like a muscle man Malcolm. When it just like 1, 2, 3. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze. If you like the channel, this will squeeze.